Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303, episode 277. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. As always, we have with us the executive producers, the EPE, and Nutty Putty. On today's episode, we'll get into a review of Nick's Time Suck Parlay. Spoiler, it didn't go well. We'll also do a review of Head-to-Head. We'll get into Pop Culture Pick'em, Top 5 Irrational Fears. We got a Blind 5 scheduled for you. Spoiler alert, Nevada, we have a Blind 5. And then we'll get into UCLA Matchday 2, NFL Week 3 review, and NFL Week 4 preview. Without further ado, how are you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. 5 days to my favorite time of the year, so can't complain.
The entire month of October. How are you doing this evening, Nevada?
I'm doing well. I'm not panicking like Eric, putting him on the spot. I'm good. I'm actually waiting with bated breath to watch the White Sox game, see if we can get history. Yes.
I'm with you. I hope they accomplish it. I'm not going to lie. Just as a Cubs fan, you missed the playoffs, but at least the White Sox set the record. How are you doing this evening, Nick?
Yeah, so I just got an email. Speaking of the MLB, I just got an email from the MLB asking me to vote for the Roberto Clemente Award. And since the MLB.com knows my favorite team is the Colorado Rockies, they asked me to vote for Colorado Rockies pitcher Kyle Freeland.
And
I might vote for him.
Of Nick. Oh, really?
I might vote for him, yeah, because think of how generously he has donated home run balls for years to the fans of Coors Field. Attendees at Coors Field almost always get 1 or 2 home run balls when Kyle Freeland is pitching.
Not if you go to that bar that you can only access from the outside.
The rooftop, dude, it's ridiculous. They should really build some way in the stadium to get to the rooftop.
No doubt.
Nick has been in constant war with Kyle Freeland. They need to get him off the team.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You're going to get me started again.
You see how easy you just mentioned Kyle Freeland and he gets spun
He's
up.
just not great. Rockies fans act like he's an ace and he's not. Jonathan Gray was the closest thing we had to an ace, and we shipped him out for a bag of fucking peanuts 3 years ago.
Yeah, everybody has been shipped out for peanuts. Except for
and
Charlie.
I don't want to hear this Airmon stuff you're about to tell me, Nevada. If he can stay healthy for more than 3 games, I'd consider him a fucking ace.
No, I was going to say I got a pretty sweet poster in the guest bathroom.
No, you don't.
Of one Kyle Freeland staring at you as you drop a deuce.
Yeah, because he knows what that's like. When you hit it out of the park in the toilet, he'll always be there.
Fire up the fountains.
Nick, walk us through the Time Suck Parlay.
Yeah, so Time Suck Parlay, I wasn't on the episode, but it started and ended with Barcelona against AC Monaco. Barcelona dropped down to 10 men, ended up losing 2-1 to Monaco. A brutal way to start the next Time Suck Parlay. Although I have continued my streak of cashing in Nick's Time Suck Parlay for money that also instantly disappears. Free DraftKings money that also instantly disappears.
The odds of picking the one UCL match that day that goes to 10 men and you picking the side that had the 10 men, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know if the other 2 legs hit?
Did Tennessee win?
Tennessee beat the fuck out of Oklahoma. That was a no.
And then Toyota Kane wants to chime in. And then
it's not UT. What? I said Tennessee, not UT.
Yeah. So
you threw up the horns?
You got to do this.
And also for the head-to-head later, I'll talk about it.
Well, I got a question for you guys. Is Texas so back, baby? Number 1 in the country? How does that feel? Does it feel pretty good? No.
As a new Longhorn fan, though, it's not that, it's
I
not
wasn't
that
asking
exciting.
you, Eric.
Oh, okay.
It feels great, but the conversation around them is always so toxic. It's fucking annoying. It's so funny. Tennessee hasn't been good in ages. No one ever asks if they're back, right? Georgia sucked until Kirby Smart went there. Nobody asks if they're back. It's just, why is the conversation always about Texas like this? And then Quinn Ewers looks fucking amazing for 3 years.
Texas has been ass the last.
So has Georgia.
No, Georgia has not. Georgia has made it to like multiple SEC championship games. They have not been able to beat Bama and get over that hump.
Before Kirby Smart got there, what was Georgia doing?
Mark Richt got him to multiple SEC championships.
He was losing to Auburn in fucking Florida.
So they would lose 1 or 2 games a year. They were still going 10-2. I get it, Kane.
It's just, the conversation is ridiculous. Tennessee has been ass since Peyton Manning fucking left.
I agree. Tennessee has been ass.
And now Arch Manning is there, and because his last name is Manning, nobody can allow anyone to back up a quarterback.
I will back you up with a couple more. I will back you up with Florida,
Nebraska,
Florida State,
Michigan State,
Clemson, Texas A&M.
Yeah, A&M fucking sucks. Embarrassing. Are we not asking if the Hurricanes are back?
I am asking if the Hurricanes are back.
They're not.
They're back for 1 year.
They're not.
Florida State is so not back, baby. And it's amazing.
To go undefeated and then open your season 0-3 is just brutal. And then who did they upset? They beat someone good, right? For their first win, wasn't it?
No. They won 16-7 against.
I thought it was a good team.
No,
because their schedule gets a lot weaker after.
It was Cal.
week 1 or 2.
They only beat Cal 14-9.
Cal was undefeated when they beat him.
Cal is not a good team, dude. I will not stand for it.
So 3-0 is not good.
No.
Got it. So then Texas is not good then.
Cal is 3-1. They beat UC Davis, Auburn, trash. San Diego.
Yeah, Auburn's trash now. Got it.
Auburn is trash.
Anyways, Texas is dope. We're going to be fine in the SEC. Everyone's just like, just wait till you get to the SEC. Nobody's saying that shit anymore. I'm sick of the Quinn Ewers looked fucking amazing. Cooked Alabama in Alabama, cooked Michigan in Michigan. And for some reason, the quarterback behind him's last name is Manning. Looked fucking shaky against the Roadrunners. And everyone's just like, he's better than Quinn Ewers.
It's also his let's make this perfectly clear. As much as he is a Manning, it is his first legitimate college action. Like the kid could be nervous.
Can we hold on?
Yeah.
People back people up in college.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens. There's a natural progression, right? Quinn Ewers comes in, sits behind, takes the job. Quinn Ewers leaves, Arch Manning sits behind, takes the job. Arch Manning leaves. It's a fucking natural cycle. We see it over and over again. But his last name is Manning, and the discourse is fucking wild.
If you hadn't mentioned that, I was going to say, and they're doing very well with their starting quarterback, Arch Manning. I have not seen, again, I think Bleacher Report is the biggest shill in the world right now because I don't see Quinn Ewers highlights, but God forbid anytime Arch Manning throws a ball over 5 yards, it's in a 60-point blowout, and I get it on my feed.
Quinn Ewers against Alabama, Michigan, who we both widely consider really fucking good football teams, threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in both games with 0 turnovers.
Those are Andy Dalton numbers.
those are Andy Dalton first half numbers. Put some respect on his name.
True.
But yeah, for long story short, Texas is back, and it's fucking awesome. And the SEC with Texas and Oklahoma is awesome. It's awesome. The matchups we have, 17 NFL teams are going to this Bama game this weekend. There's so many great matchups coming, and they added the Red River rivalry. Texas versus Texas A&M is back. It's a fucking gauntlet, and it's going to be fucking awesome every single year. Like, anyone who is mad about it is crazy because Tennessee plays Georgia. Tennessee's schedule is fucking ridiculous. I think they play Georgia and Bama, and they just played Oklahoma. It's wild. It's wild. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm excited. It's always the national discourse. It's the reason why we started this podcast. It's so fucking annoying.
So
Go ahead.
Sorry, real quick, to your point, the Volunteers schedule, the next game, they'll play against Arkansas in Arkansas, home for Florida, not the same Florida, home against Bama, home against Kentucky, home against Mississippi State, play in Georgia. I'm not sure if that's a neutral game or if that's going to be actually in Athens, but they're the away team. Then finish it out at home for UTEP. At home UTEP, and then go visit Vandy for the in-state rivalry.
Picks up, boys.
That hard of a schedule.
Kentucky just almost beat Georgia. Georgia has lost 2 games in 3-4 years.
Georgia's half their players are in the Athens County Jail right now.
What does that have to do with them? They have 5 stars backing up 5 stars, backing up 5 stars.
They're the Bama of the 2020s.
Yeah, Georgia's stacked.
Yeah.
And Kentucky almost beat them. That's the reason why that coach didn't leave Kentucky when he was getting offered all these jobs at these other schools. They have to play Kentucky. Mississippi State is good to upset someone every year. That's what Mississippi State does in the SEC. Now, Florida is terrible, but you play Bama and Georgia. You just played Oklahoma. And then don't forget, they have to play the Miners.
Well, they waxed NC State, so
dude,
I can't believe I thought that team was going to go undefeated.
Your quarterback got hurt though, didn't he? In that game,
even before it. Yeah, I mean he got hurt, but even before that, he was just ass.
Well, I blame the rest of the team, not Grayson McCall.
I mean, I'm blaming the offensive coordinator.
Let's get into head-to-head here. Oh, never mind. We don't have the screen ready to share. Filibuster. Look at that big dog behind Nick.
Wow, look at that.
That's a big old ass.
That's a big bitch. I just took a drink of water, and now he thinks that he's entitled to some water, even though I just gave him water before the start of this podcast.
Why do you never give your dog water, dude?
I never give him water. I never give him food. And yet still he is here, get happy and healthy.
Unbelievable.
Just happy to be here.
Just persevering.
All right,
Surviving
moving
in
into
advance.
the head-to-head here. So last week was week 38. Jermaine went 0-3, putting him at 26 and 88 on the season, down 23.30 units. Nick went 1-2, putting him at 15, 98 and 1, down 42.36 units. Nevada went 1-2, putting him at 37 and 77, down 18.86 units. And I went 1-2 as well, putting me at 32 and 82, up 14.28 units.
Saints were so close, man. Saints were so close.
Oh, dude, that Olave. That 15 yards. We couldn't get my boy a 15-yard catch. What are we doing? 85 and a tutty. I was so upset, man. I was so upset. That just the way Atlanta didn't cover that game, fucking mind-blowing. Plus 2,000 something odds, bro.
Are we gonna talk about this KC game? I sent the meme in the chat, but they seriously can't keep getting away with this.
I don't know why
it is getting ridiculous at this point.
I can't remember if it was our chat, but there was a stat that was thrown out. Stop me if you heard it, about Mahomes' interceptions. Since he's entered the league, he has thrown 17 interceptions that have been called back.
It's Eric's favorite. It's Eric's favorite stat. He says it as much as he can, dude. He's been saying that stat for like a year and a half now. The number has just gotten bigger as he's said the stat.
And obviously some of those could be offsides, but still, those aren't 17 offside penalties where he's just, doing a home run ball.
That, and in how many Super Bowls does he have? 2 or 3?
3.
He has 3. So in 2 out of the 4 Super Bowls he played in, 2 being 2 that he won, There was no offensive holding calls on the offensive line in the Kansas City Chiefs for the entire game. Not a single holding call.
Oh, yeah. And last year they led the league in holding penalties in the regular season.
That bye week before the Super Bowl, they just figured everything out.
Andy Reid really is a genius, isn't he? Hold all year and stop when you get to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Made you think, why didn't they just do it earlier? But that's the genius of great coaches, of Hall of Fame coaches. That's their genius.
You got to hold a little bit in the tank for that last leg.
Look, dude, I'm not here to ask questions. I just respect greatness. Fun fact. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I was going to say, this weekend I got to tour Lambeau Field. Last weekend I got to tour Lambeau Field. Pretty awesome stadium.
Is it really?
They have 80,000 seats because 80% of their stadium is still bleachers. Can you imagine how frigid that fucking stadium gets?
Imagine trying to sit on that bitch during the cold. I would not. No, I'm going to watch from home, dude. And I heard that houses literally push right up to the stadium.
Yeah.
All around.
They
just built a stadium and they built a community around that bitch.
Literally.
So me and the fam did a road trip back when I was in middle school, and we went to Green Bay. And, we visited Green Bay. But anyway, it was packed. This was August, if I remember right, maybe late July, something like that. Stadium was packed. Parking lot's packed. We're like, what the hell's going on? It's like, it's before preseason. They're like, it's a scrimmage. What do you mean it's packed for a scrimmage? And the people that live around the stadium will rent out their yards, and you will park on their yards, $50. Yep, sounds good. And you just park right on their yard.
Bro, that's crazy. It's an awesome charm. It's an awesome charm. Yeah. It adds to the allure of the team because it's like owned by like everybody. Someone in my family probably owns a piece of the Green Bay Packers.
There's a 148-year wait for season tickets. It is truly, you have to know somebody who knows somebody who knew somebody that died to get on that list.
So for the Green Bay Packers, they have 5.2 million shares shared between 538,000 people.
Bro, if they collectively agree to sell that team, that'd be cool.
That would be so funny. One bad year, they're like, you know what?
You imagine trying to be the lawyer who doctors said shit up, dude. You got like, oh my goodness, you misspelled my name. Fuck, I gotta go reprint this document.
Yes, on page 237, there's an A after Luis A. Gomez.
This semicolon shouldn't be here. Fuck that, dude.
Ugh.
You could eat a dick. How about that? Could you imagine trying to get everyone to initial?
Sign here and here and
no,
here.
No
and
chance, here. Dude. You couldn't pay me enough to try to get that shit completed, dude. Sounds like a nightmare. Oh boy, fucking Packers. Speaking of Packers, have a fire matchup this week. We'll touch on that later. Let's get into head-to-head.
PCP, we did head-to-head.
Sorry, Eric knew what I meant.
Real quick, so if they sold the Packers, all 538,000 people would get $11,400. If it sold for $6 billion, sorry. I went off the recent sale of the team, and I picked $6 billion as a number.
And in Green Bay, that's as good as $1 million.
Yeah.
How expensive was it, Nick, when you were like buying food and drinks and stuff?
Not.
Got it.
I think I bought 3 beers was $15, like draft beers at a brewery.
It's fair.
That's the price it should be. God damn,
that's the price it should be anywhere.
Yeah,
that's what political candidates should be running on. Standardized beer price across the country.
Dude, I think I could run on a successful platform of just no tipping. I don't have any other policy. Yeah. We just outlaw tipping and we just pay those motherfuckers actual money. Because the fact that fucking what is that? Like the fucking smoothie places are turning around their machine to ask me to tip. I go to get a burrito at a Mexican restaurant. Oh, it's gonna ask you a question, and everyone's so smug about it behind the counter. It's gonna ask you a question, bitch. You know what the question is. It's not a surprise question each time.
Yeah,
Why
it's
don't
not
you
like
just
a
say-
survey where I win money.
Yeah, it's not gonna ask you how'd you enjoy your experience. You know, how was the ambiance? It's not asking me that. Just say it's gonna ask you if you want a tip. Like, why is it always like even they don't like spinning it around that?
Damn.
Okay, tell us how you really feel. He hates tipping too, dude. See,
Yeah.
even dogs are on my side.
Dogs know.
Let's get into pop culture pick'em. Top 5 irrational fears. Today's order is Nevada, myself, Nick, Eric. Go ahead and kick us off, Nevada.
My first one is going to be snakes coming out of nowhere. They could be falling out of trees, in toilets, running out of places. No, I'm out. I'm turning. I'm sprinting. I'm faster than Usain Bolt. I'm out.
Not my fear, but hilarious.
Mine is favorite team owned by David Tepper.
He'll get you. Like every good export, we'll send him to the Saints.
Oh, no, you won't. Shout out my girl, Gail. Woo!
I'm going to say the box jellyfish. I got told once that it's like the size of like a pen head. And I just don't. And it lives in Australia, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Eric, you want to hit undo? You clicked into the top box and put box jellyfish.
Hell yeah.
I was wondering why I didn't call it.
He was looking around like, where did I just type, dude? Just buy. This is the box jellyfish seat now.
All right, so I actually have ridiculous irrational fears. So the first one is making decisions.
All right.
I don't like making decisions.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then secondly, it's actually called trypophobia. I don't like holes, big holes or a grouping of holes. I don't like nothing to do with holes. Like honeycombs scare me. So yeah.
Honeycombs?
Yeah.
Like the cereal?
That's
No.
a hanging curveball, Eric.
Just I'm gonna pull up a picture because I don't like the way you guys look.
I had
So
seen.
you're afraid of your own asshole?
Yeah, he did say big holes.
You don't like big gaping holes, do you?
You can fall into it and disappear.
He's not even laughing at it. Like, how big does a toilet have to be before it starts scaring you?
No, it's more of a grouping of holes, brother. It's not just one hole. Like if it's a big hole in the ground, that'll scare the shit out of me.
The honeycomb is the Fibonacci sequence.
I'm gonna just start when you guys get a house. I'm just gonna start fucking with Eric. Just dig a bunch of holes in his backyard.
So you're like
Like shit like that gives me.
Oh God, get it off the screen.
Yeah, but that's actually disgusting in the skin, though, Eric.
So,
That's
Eric,
not
like,
a naturally
Eric-
occurring honeycomb. Though.
Eric, you get invited to an orgy, and you're like, nah, man, I'm out.
That's too many
I'm
holes,
out.
dude.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
passing on all of that.
I did have sinkholes on my list, so I just took it off my
I
list.
need a
But
second.
Well, Eric, you got 6 picks until you're up. So I'm gonna go alligators in pools. I know it's ridiculous.
Alligators, what?
Alligators in pools. I know it's ridiculous. I don't care.
if there's any place I could take an alligator, it would be in a pool.
Maybe
You could just stand in that bitch and hit him with a sleeper hold.
you could, but what if I'm not ready? What if I'm ready for some summer fun?
You could, but I'm not gonna.
Eric, what do you classify as a hole? Like, is a drained swimming pool scary?
No. Okay, dude.
That's a big hole.
Okay, so like that, a thing like that I showed you in the picture, or there's a picture of this dude in the ocean, and he walks up to this edge, and then there's just this giant black hole in the bottom of the ocean. That I'll pass out. I would not.
I think that's the ocean.
Thalassophobia.
That's what?
Thalassophobia.
Glassophobia?
THASS alobia.
Okay.
Thalassophobia.
Yo, even the spelling was wrong. I'm going with quicksand.
Classic.
Which, by the way, Nick has gone on a rant about that on this podcast before. I thought this was going to be a much bigger problem in my life.
It's the John Mulaney joke, right? Like they made you think as a kid growing up that like Hey, it's if you go walking in the forest, you never know if that could be your last walk in the forest.
It's everywhere.
So, Eric, is quicksand scare you? Is like a hole filled with water and sand?
Nah, I wouldn't be afraid of quicksand.
I'm starting to think you're just scared of multiple holes.
That might
So
be
like,
it.
so like if a girl bends over, you're done. You'll faint.
Pass out, dude.
That's because of the blood rush, though.
Don't work no more. All right, next. Nevada, you're up.
Let me know if this is too close to Nick's, but jumping into murky water.
Not even
the
close.
close.
Not even close.
Not even the same thing.
I was thinking if you got an alligator in the pool, maybe that water's all jacked up.
Nope.
But
I'm normal pools, filtered
Nope.
pools.
Chlorine filtered.
Yeah,
You can see the pool balls on the floor.
Yep.
You go to the bayou or something, go crawdad fishing or something. Nope, staying in that dinghy.
Mhm.
Ain't going in.
Yeah.
No, sir.
If the water looks like sweet tea, you're gonna have to be ready to fight a dinosaur.
Yep.
Them's the rules.
On the back-to-back,
Grouping of holes.
sure. The back-to-back, you turn the light off and someone's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, scary movies, you can blame for that.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Can mine be turning the light on and somebody?
Yeah, I was going to say either or, bro.
Yeah.
Flipping the switch, random person appears.
Yeah.
My next pick, I'm going to go with, being at a fancy party and knocking over a sculpture, an ice sculpture or cake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Could you imagine just the clatter? Everyone's looking at you. You're standing with your hands by your sides. I don't know what to do with my hands. This expensive sculpture is just on the 16-story cake has just been knocked over. No cake for you, bro.
I think an even more fear is the anxiety about whether to leave or stay at that party.
Oh, I'm not leaving, dude. Damage is already
staying?
done, bro. I'm actually going to go shake everyone's hands.
So I don't know why this is a rational fear because I don't think I've ever encountered a member of, but
Justice League?
Offending the mafia. And I don't just mean like the Italian mob. I mean any sort of organized crime gang.
It's why we're not allowed in Japan.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was no of my doing, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Guilty by association.
That's true. Yes, I did go in and say, "Hey, have you seen my friend?" And he was like, "The Yakuza are not going to like this." And I was like, "Will you tell them? I'm sorry."
With my third pick, I'm going to go with being stared at. All right. And then being alone.
You're not alone when I'm sitting here staring at you, big guy.
Wait. Hold on. What do you mean by alone, though? Just like for an hour?
Just everybody just disappears and I'm alone. I'll just end it. I won't. I don't want to be by myself.
Eric, are you a dog?
Maybe.
So you mean
I'd rather be with at least somebody I hate than by myself.
Like at the end of the world.
At the end of the world, I won't be by myself.
Not like
on the last one. That's it.
Not like when everyone leaves the house.
No.
You're
I'm
home
fine with
alone.
that. But being alone. No, I don't get anxiety when you leave the house, dude. What the fuck?
Dog, that's what I was trying to specify. I was like, God damn, dude.
And if I put being alone in the world, it just sounds like I'm sad and alone. Right?
Yeah, it does, but it
being
helps.
alone at the end of the world.
It helps.
Jermaine, next time you leave, you got to close the door and hear if you hear Eric start whimpering.
Yeah.
No wonder there's always toilet paper on the floor.
Yeah. Eric, my shoes. Eric has separation anxiety. I have a movie to thank.
I had to specify, dude.
I have a movie to thank for this. It's going to be Log Trucks. I will do anything in my power to get away from being behind a log truck.
Who is barking right now?
Might be Roscoe. It's probably Roscoe.
That's all right.
And Roscoe doing battle with the holes outside.
Dude, he's been consistent, bro. Yo, Final Destination. Fuck that movie, dude.
Yeah.
That movie will fuck you up, bro.
From those pictures. Nick, stop sending me shit.
I sent him a picture of holes, by the way.
It's not funny, dude. It affects me for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Dude, so speaking of movies, I'm not going to pick it, but being Gone Girled, is an irrational fear I have now.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not
like
picking
in that movie. Ben Affleck kind of did nothing well.
I
don't know, watch what I said. Ben Affleck did not do something wrong enough to deserve what happened to him.
Okay, I'll get behind that. I'll get behind that. But your initial sentence was like,
yeah.
Does any man deserve that, no matter what he's done?
Well, okay, thank you, Eric. See, this is why we keep Eric on the show.
Like, seriously.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you've done.
I don't think there's a level of okay.
You could absolutely find some if he kills your grandma, but you can't prove it. She was old. Yeah, right. You would be a wreck. This one is sitting on and popping a testicle.
Oh, all right.
Oh man.
New fear unlocked for Nick up there.
No, it's just like I've sat on my testicle before. I've been like, oh, dude.
I'm very aware of how low it's hanging these days. It's just all I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, I did not come to this party well prepared. My next one is going to be singing in front of any sort of crowd.
Oh yeah, yep.
You guys can't do karaoke?
Well, see, I was drunk when I did that, so the fear was dissipated. But
Nevada's also fears using chopsticks in front of a crowd.
well,
so is Eric's.
No, I went to Japan and got it down.
No, Eric, you talked about it for a year leading up to it, and then he said he was like, one of my goals this year, not resolution, but one of my goals this year is to learn how to use chopsticks. He proceeded to never use chopsticks anywhere we went until the following year, and we went to Japan.
Can I not use chopsticks now?
No.
What?
hey, Eric, don't feel bad. All right, we won the war. We can use forks.
No. All right, I got
No,
nothing.
he could use them now. I mean, he just doesn't use them enough to be practiced. But
Nevada cannot use them. And it is what it happened. What almost a year ago? Yeah, 6 months ago, and it still brings me joy to this day. Anytime I grab chopsticks, I go.
I was getting so hungry just watching all my food fall off the chopsticks before I could get my mouth to it. Oh man.
Dude, I was sitting next to you and I couldn't stop laughing.
That's why they're all so skinny. They can't eat. They can't use chopsticks. I'm telling you.
That was a good time. David is one of my Korean buddies. Shout out David. He can put on a Korean barbecue. He conducted it like an orchestra master.
A maestro?
Maestro.
Master's a bit generous. He just yelled at everyone until they did what he wanted.
That's good. That's the way to handle Korean barbecue.
Sounds like Asian cuisine.
I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna throw around the master and orchestrating.
Maestro.
He just yelled at everyone. I was just like, all right.
Last one is logging in and seeing that all of your bank accounts are zeroed out.
That's a super irrational fear.
That's a good one.
I mean, it belongs on this list, but I feel like that's rational.
Well, yeah, it definitely happens, but yeah, no bueno.
No, not at all. Falling out of a roller coaster.
That's a great one.
Hey, Jermaine, you come to Colorado. I will take you to the shoddiest amusement park that's been open for probably about 70 years by now, at least. We'll go on the Wild Chipmunk. You got to duck your head so you don't hit your head on a 2x4.
I'm in.
I can't imagine it's up to code. I don't know how it passes all the time.
Dude, it wasn't up to code in 2002. There's no way it's up to code 20 years later.
It's definitely got to be like grandfathered in by this point.
Is it called Western Playland?
No, it's called Lakeside.
Lakeside, got it.
I mean, and if we wanted to go to a legitimate amusement park. We could go to Elages, and we could go to the Twister 2, Nevada.
Oh, yep.
Twister 2 is a roller coaster where Nevada and I literally saw bolts falling off it when we were in middle school.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
There were bolts falling off of the wooden roller coaster.
There were bolts falling off of it.
I'm gonna my final thing. There's a lot of animal themed thing. Spiders in shoes. What fucking snakes coming out of nowhere, and you're gonna at my spiders in shoes?
You shit all over it, dude.
What the fuck? Well, fuck you kindly.
I mean, when you put your shit in, you should squash the
Yeah, you laughed at my snakes.
Big.
No, I said I get your snakes. I just don't agree with it.
I don't agree with your spiders and shoes one.
Okay. Well, they're all just big holes anyway.
All right, here we go. All right, this is what we're doing.
He must hate his t-shirts with that big old head, dude.
Yeah, if you get caught in a t-shirt, do you freak out?
No.
Dude, we've
That's
all
like
been
3
caught
holes.
we've all been caught in a shirt and freaked out, bro.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna Eric, I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna add an honorable mention that I just thought of.
Damn, I should have been ready, huh?
You don't have a fifth?
I'm just gonna go with embarrassing myself in public.
I was like, we could filibuster. That's not irrational, though, Eric.
I mean,
Is that
I don't
irrational?
do anything to embarrass myself. I just think I'm always gonna embarrass myself. Like I'll be like, I gotta go to the restroom, and like in my head when I'm walking to the restroom, I'm like, I'm gonna trip and fall and embarrass myself. It's ridiculous. I suppressed the thoughts though. Go ahead, Nevada.
So Eric trying to get his head through his t-shirt reminded me of one. I always have a miniature panic attack when this happens, but when you're trying to take off a wet t-shirt and it gets all stuck over your face, you think you're about to suffocate.
We've all been stuck in a t-shirt before and
Yep.
freaked out. I'm just saying,
Yep.
like, we've all done it.
But yeah,
So I got-
specifically when your t-shirt's all wet and all of a sudden it gets to your head and
you
it's just
suck
like
it in a little
sucks in.
bit.
You're like,
We are-
oh, this is it. This is how I go.
I'm pretty sure that's how waterboarding is conducted.
Yeah,
think-
pretty
I
much.
think it
Yeah.
very much is. I'm gonna go. I have 2 honorable mentions. One is walking around in a dark room that you're not sure of where stuff is.
Like booby traps.
So like a hotel, like booby traps.
Like Home Alone.
I don't think a hotel room is booby trapped, but like if the light doesn't work in your hotel room. And then my second one is going to be that Amazonian fish that swims up your pee hole.
Oh,
I'm never going to go to the Amazon, but
Yeah.
Mine is
that was on Discovery Channel, right? I remember seeing that.
yeah.
mine
What
is
is like that?
sorry, go ahead, Nevada.
No, you're good.
I don't know the name of that fish. I wish I did, but I was gonna say tripwires at the top of stairs.
At the top of the stairs.
Or having a World Series caliber team and a player hurts themselves doing something stupid.
The fish is called a candiru.
Candiru.
Candiru. I have a very on the honorable mentions. It's very specific, and this might be only to me, so nobody can relate. It's because of the way I sleep. With my arm, I always wake up with my arm completely numb, and I have this irrational fear that it's just gonna like blood clot and die off because I always wake up with my arm asleep.
That's not
So-
irrational, though. You're not getting blood to it, big fella.
Every morning I have to like shake it out. Like
Buy a
this.
pillow that fixes that.
No, I don't.
So Eric, kind of off of that.
No, just no.
So Eric, you're just gonna wake up like this.
I don't know. Just every morning it's numb, and I have to like spend like a minute getting the blood going to it.
So
They have
Eric,
pillows specifically
Let's
for
go
that.
into
bro.
it, right?
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
blood going.
Yeah.
on top of that, I've had this happen too, where your arm falls asleep, and you gotta consciously think about where am I moving this because I can't feel anything. I'm just gonna lay on it and
I'm gonna
snap it.
snap my arm in half if
Yep.
I don't pay attention. Yeah, it happens all the time.
My
Wow.
irrational fear that you just talked about, Eric, is leaving my arm or foot off the bed and it getting grabbed by something.
Mm.
That's probably horror movies, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that, or my dad is my biggest irrational fear.
Just-
Pissing him off, knowing he could kill me at any
I
second.
just pictured Kane coming to fucking with you.
Oh, dude, that's happened before. Actually,
That's what I'm saying. It's
that's
for
happened.
sure happened, bro. He's just like, what's this?
Yeah, like licked your hand.
Yep. Dead.
They have pillows specifically designed for that, though, Eric. Let's get into blind five. I think if that's a constant everyday thing, you
Pretty
might
much 5 times a week at least.
might want to invest in that pillow, big fella.
Okay. I haven't lost it yet.
Alrighty. 1 through 8.
Yeah, I don't think you've picked a
5.
number, Jermaine. Oh.
Oh,
Well, I usually pick 5 is good.
5. All
Nick,
right.
you're a guest on this podcast. You should pick.
All right.
All right. First up is going to be Dan Patrick.
Oh man, sports. What do they call them? Casters.
Sports talk show host.
Talk show host. So Kelly Ripa's on this list.
Ooh, Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan.
You see me get bodied by this?
Let's see. I don't know. Dan Patrick.
I'd go 3. I'd go 3. Dan Patrick.
Really?
Yeah.
Who Stuart Scott would be ahead of him. Chris Berman would be ahead of him.
Now here's the question: are we doing
SVP?
Are we doing like sports announcers or like sports talk show hosts?
Dan
that
Lebatard
would
would be ahead of him.
That's why I said 3.
Woody?
Yeah, I don't. 3 feels high for Dan Patrick. Do you fuck with Dan Patrick like that, Nick?
I do, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
Bill?
let's rock with 3. Seems high.
Patrick at 3.
I don't watch any of his shows. Like I've never watched any of his shows. He what's his name? Tony Kornheiser's better.
Ooh.
From PTI.
Yeah. No, I
That's
know.
an interesting take. All right.
PTI is the shit. It's
Next
still
up-
on until this day.
Next up will be Kenny Mayne.
Yeah, I like him better than Dan Patrick.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking ridiculous. Kenny Mayne is ridiculous.
I can't stand Kenny Mayne.
I'm good with 5. Every time he comes on and does one of those fucking skits where he's out in the town fucking exploring it, talking to the people who are sports fans, it's awesome.
Nah.
I've seen that more than I've seen anything Dan Patrick has done.
He's a less cool Pat McAfee.
He was Pat McAfee before Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
And Pat McAfee's not that cool.
Thank you.
I've never seen anything Dan Patrick's done. Ever. Like, I've never seen his show. I've only seen him be on ESPN, like the Sports Center.
Yeah, I know. Try to watch his show. It's a good show.
I doubt it. If I'm going to watch a show, I'd watch Dan Lebatard. Go ahead.
Next up, Chris Berman.
Number 2, at least.
Yeah,
He's
2
better than Dan Patrick.
I agree. Yeah, I'd say 2. 2's good.
Chris Berman at 2. Okay. Next up is Keith Olbermann.
I don't even know if I know who that
We
is.
missed out on 5. 4. He was not good on SportsCenter, and he's less good since he went to MSNBC.
Oh, my goodness. He's on MSNBC. Who the fuck is this guy? The fuck has he ever done?
SportsCenter.
His middle name is Theodore.
Nerd.
What a dork.
Yeah, this guy sucks. I don't even know who this guy is. Get him off my screen. Put him on 6.
6.
All right, man. Who's our awful number 1?
Well, yeah, you kind of hit this one. Linda Cohn.
Oh, I like her though.
She's probably the best one out of the 5 on here.
Yeah, I think she's pretty good. I think that's the right list. Maybe 4 and 5 get flipped. Oh, here comes Nick. He's not gonna like her because she's a woman. He's looking her up.
I mean, I think Linda Cohn's annoying, but whatever, fine.
You think she's annoying?
She's annoying, yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Figured Nick wasn't gonna like her. I'm gonna go watch this Dan Patrick show.
Well, hold on. Okay. Don't just shit on me because I think Linda Cohn's annoying.
Everyone loves her, but you, contrarian.
You think she's annoying?
I'm gonna go watch this Dan Patrick show and see how bored out of my mind I am.
You're gonna be pretty bored. I'm not gonna I'm not going to say that a Thursday morning Dan Patrick show is going to blow your socks off, if I'm being perfectly honest.
It's 100% something that's on in the background because it's intended for radio.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That was a quick switch, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not a quick switch. But I will just say you cannot judge it off of one. I used to listen to Dan Patrick radio when I was a kid almost every day.
Jesus, how old are you?
33.
Gross.
I thought I was going to be older than that. Dan Patrick radio? I just used to have Sports Center on loop.
Yeah, the Dan Patrick show on Sirius. Well, no, before he was on Sirius, he was on like Westwood One or something.
Man, I haven't heard Westwood One in forever.
Remember, you used to get like the old Westwood One used to be the best. For those of you who don't know out there, Westwood One was prime time listening because they used to have their own version of like Red Zone, where you'd be listening to a game in your local area, and then they'd cut away to be like, "Here's the radio call from Jacksonville," and it'd be like the Jacksonville announcer to be like, "Brunel drops back, throws the ball deep, Fred Taylor catches it, touchdown."
We still have that here.
Is it
I'm looking it up right now. It's still a thing. The Rich Eisen show is on Westwood One.
Yeah, when you said they switched to announcers, they'll do that where they do like the highlights, but they switch to that team's announcers so they can do the highlight.
I love that, dude. I used to love it.
Yeah, Westwood One's still a thing. They have the Rich Eisen show. They have NCAA stuff. They have Infinity Sports Network. You remember Jim Rome?
Yeah, Rome is burning.
Love Jim Rome. Big Jim Rome guy. He's on Westwood One. Part of the Infinity Sports Network.
I love how Jim Rome got canceled for something, right?
Yeah.
What did he get canceled for?
What was it?
I thought he got canceled because Showtime was going out of business. I didn't think it was for anything specific.
Not saying
white
legal trouble, but it was something along those lines.
He got in an altercation with former Rams quarterback Jim Everett.
I remember that. Yeah,
mocked Everett for his reluctance to take hits on the field, calling him Chris. He called him Chris. Whatever. A reference to a female tennis player, Chris Everett.
Yeah.
There we go.
If you guys have not seen that interview, go look it up. It's hilarious. Jim Everett.
That's why he got fired?
No, I don't think that's why he got fired. It's just like a famous Jim Rome thing where Jim Rome is just egging him on.
Yeah, he went full WWE heel.
And Jim Everett threatens to like beat his ass. It's pretty fun. Rome is burning.
That sounds hysterical.
He left ESPN and he left CBS because he wanted to do his own thing on X. So he has his own network on X that he's running now.
X as in Twitter.
X as in Twitter. Yes.
He went from ESPN to Showtime and then went back to ESPN?
It says he went from ESPN to CBS here. CBS might own Showtime.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think CBS owns Showtime.
Yeah. Or maybe he just
because he was on show. You probably can. Yeah. I don't know, but he was on Showtime, wasn't he?
Sounds right.
Anyways, doesn't matter. It's enough Jim Rome talk. we beat a dead horse. Nick, take us into UCL Matchday 2.
Oh, UCL Matchday 2. All right. Well, UCL Matchday 1 went exactly how we were thinking it would go.
10-man Barcelona.
10-man Barcelona losing. A couple of good games that happened. Let's pull it up here. Let's see. What are some big games we highlighted or big games we can highlight from Matchday 1? Bayern Munich beating Dinamo Zagreb 9-2. I'm still reserving judgment for this Saturday on whether Bayern is good under Vincent Kompany. I will let you know then. Liverpool beat Milan 3-1. Real Madrid beat Stuttgart 3-1. Other big games, not really. Man City and Inter tied. Kind of a little bit of surprise, but good for Inter. Atletico beat Leipzig 2-1. And Atalanta tied with Arsenal. So those are kind of the big matchups of Matchday 1. Going to Matchday 2, I don't know. Is there a holiday?
What do you mean? Is there a holiday?
Weird. So match day 1 was 3 days. Match day 2 is actually only going to be 2 days. So Tuesday, October 1st and Wednesday, October 2nd. Match day 2, the first day, Tuesday, October 1st. The big games that we're looking at, Borussia Dortmund will play Celtic. Barcelona will play Young Boys. Bayern Leverkusen.
Whoa, what'd you say?
Young Boys. Maybe they'll beat Young Boys. Maybe Young Boys will beat them. Bayern Leverkusen will play AC Milan. And I think the highlight of next Tuesday is Arsenal playing PSG. Then on Wednesday, October 2nd, not a lot of big games.
Villa versus Bayern is going to be good.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Shakhtar plays Atalanta. Leipzig plays Juventus. Okay, there's a couple of sneaky good matchups. Like Jermaine said, Aston Villa playing Bayern Munich, and then Benfica playing Atletico Madrid.
Mbappe is out for that Real matchup versus Lille.
Mbappe is out for 3 weeks for Real Madrid. But they did good last year. So right now the standings after match day 1, these 8 teams are going straight to the round of 16. Bayern Munich, Celtic, Leverkusen, Aston Villa, Borussia Dortmund, Sparta Prague, and Liverpool and Juventus. With another 14 teams playing in the knockout phase. And then a couple of surprises. Milan and Stuttgart are right now in the elimination places. They are eliminated from the tournament. So any surprises so far? We already talked about the Barcelona game. Any surprises?
Yeah, Celtic putting 5 on the score sheet was, I'm not saying I track Celtic or anything like that, but that was an absolute shock to me. Like 5 is a lot.
Yep. Yeah, Celtic putting up 5 against Bratislava, which is not an amazing team, but yeah, I didn't think Celtic had that in them. Also, Sparta Prague beating Salzburg 3-0. Again, not surprising that they beat them 1-0, but 3-0 is a little shocking.
Yeah, to get in that ass like that was pretty shocking.
Yeah. Eric, any surprises from the first match day of UCL for you?
Are
you surprised Man City didn't beat Inter? I feel like we see this every Champions League. It's almost become the book, right? Man City doesn't start out well in the Premiership. Man City doesn't start out well in the Champions League, and then by the end of the year, they're the last 4 and top of the Premier League.
Inter's also a good team. It's not like it's a
You almost said ball club, didn't you?
No, I don't know what I said, but I did pause. Very weird. I was not anywhere close to ball club, though. I did pause. Like, my brain stopped working. But Inter's a good team. So that was one of the matchups we highlighted for a reason. So it's not like we're walking away shocked. Like, if Inter won that game, none of us are shocked.
Okay.
If Celtic takes City down.
Right. Okay, so pick one of these teams to stay up straight to the knockout stages. Celtic, Aston Villa, Sparta Prague. Yeah, one of those 3 teams.
I'm going
Celtic,
Villa.
Aston Villa, Sparta Prague.
Villa's a good ball club. I'm going Villa.
3-0. Eric?
I'll go Celtic.
Okay. Celtic to stay up and advance to the round of 16. Celtic or Celtic, I don't know.
I always say Celtic. I think that's the right way to say it.
Who knows? Who's to say?
I'm just a dumb American, though. So what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm just a dumb American.
We're all dumb Americans except for Eric. Eric, how do you say it?
I should say Celtic, dude. I'm a dumb American too, though. Also, Celtic is like fucking 5-0 in their last 5, and before that, like 13-1. And they beat Chelsea 4-1. They're not a bad club. So,
when did they beat Chelsea 4-1?
They beat Chelsea
in the preseason.
Yeah, in the preseason.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know the date of it.
Yeah.
Oh, July 27th.
Well, that's because Chelsea was trying to fit all their 80 players into one 12-man team. So
I'm just saying they've beaten big clubs. They're on a heater. They did good last week. You know, the new format of UCL should help them. They're not going to have to play somebody twice. And teams like that have an advantage if they don't have film on you playing them already once, because they're just going to give everything they got. So I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that 5, it helps, like you said, Eric, when I think both you and Jermaine said this, but it helps not only when you're winning 1-0, 2-1, stuff like that, but that 5-1 win, that 4-goal differential, even if you do start winning games 1-1 or even tying against the bigger clubs, or even if you lose 1-0 against the bigger clubs, if you can keep that deficit short, that's going to propel you to at least be in a position to win that one game.
Yeah. So currently Manchester City is minus 1,500 on the line. Eric, can you tell me what Slavan Bratislava is? Oh, first of all, that sounds like a soccer player, not a club.
They're the ones playing. They're plus 2,800.
Yeah, you might as well.
Draw is plus 1,500.
Who's plus 1,500?
The draw in that
Oh,
game
the draw
is plus 1,500.
Bro, you might as well just sprinkle some money on that alone.
It's the season of the upset, right? We saw it in Euro. Yeah, he sounds like a Hungarian striker in the Euros.
He was just signed to Ipswich Town.
Yeah, Chelsea just signed him.
I don't even know if you're joking or if you're serious, but it's all.
No, that's the name of the club.
It's the name of the club.
They probably did try to sign a club. Bring all of them.
Slava.
One of them will stick.
But if you had to pick what team and country this guy played in, Slavan Bratislava, what country and team would he play for?
Turkey or something?
He plays for Galatasaray.
That whole group of Czechia. What are they now? Is it called Czechia now? Like Yugoslavia and all those countries put together?
No, they've all broken apart into different countries.
Didn't they just make one out of like a 3 of them or some shit?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
No, you're
If they did, I don't know.
of Czechoslovakia, which broke up into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and then the Czech Republic became Czechia.
There we go. What he said.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Yugoslavia, which broke up into a bunch of different countries and has not reformed as Yugoslavia, despite the Russian influence for it to do so.
They're all bums.
They're all bums. A lot of them.
I wouldn't be saying that about. I don't know if you know anything about Bosnians and Serbians.
They like Adidas.
And genocide.
They're not afraid of a little murder.
We genocide here, dude. Not them.
So, my upset of the week here, I'm going with Red Star Belgrade.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're picking an upset of the week.
No,
I got Lille beat Real.
I was, but
who's going to beat Real?
Of course,
Lille. The French are going to let that bastard's new team come in there and beat them. This is for all of France, not just Lille.
Oh, of course.
Oh my God!
Of
blow
course.
it out your ass.
We all were just like, God damn it, Eric. So fade that bet.
Definitely don't listen to me. PSG's Real Madrid's a whole different animal.
Let's see. Oh, this is thrilling podcast. Because I've been talking so much shit, I'm gonna say Aston Villa beats Bayern. I can't. I don't know if Vincent Kompany's real yet. Sorry, Vincent.
I wasn't even. I was gonna say
he's
real
Belgian.
pick.
I know, but you saw that press conference.
I did not. Sorry, Eric. 1 second. What press conference?
You the press conference at Bayern where someone said, Vincent, and he was like, actually, it's Vincent.
And it was like, that's douchey.
And it was like, well, but then he was like, but I get it because you speak German, and I was like, oh God, I hate him already.
Yeah, dude, I hate him for you. That's annoying. Sorry, but go ahead, Eric. Your real pick now that after you're done being douchey.
Yeah, so my real pick would be, even though I really like Leverkusen to go really far in this tournament, AC Milan at plus 390. They got a stacked squad, man.
Wait, to win it all, you mean?
No, we're talking to win it all.
No. This week, AC Milan is plus 390.
Yeah, AC Milan is plus 390 against Leverkusen Tuesday.
Holy shit, they're that big of a dog?
I thought about taking that because they are way when Leverkusen came out and won as big as they did match day one, they are the darlings right now. I can see that definitely. That's probably money. talking about upsets, that's probably something to do a draw no bet, or bet the draw on that game.
Yeah,
if you
plus
want to make
320 for the draw.
Yeah.
Also plus 320.
Yeah.
So the line is plus 340, and the draw is plus 320.
AC is plus 390. Draw is plus 320. Kusin is minus 160. Labor Kusin.
That's too big a line.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that big on the Bayer Leverkusen side, but 390 to win outright. Shit. My favorite is Young Boys.
Young Boys FC.
Barcelona loves Young Boys.
Didn't they get messy when he was like 10?
They recruit heavily from Young Boys.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
That's enough Young Boys talk.
Bologna versus Liverpool looks good too. Liverpool looks bad, dude, and Bologna's plus 1100, or the draw's plus 600.
What do you mean Liverpool looks bad? They just won 5-1 today versus West Ham.
That's West Ham.
West Ham's a good ball
The
club.
bottom of the London clubs, dude.
They also dominated
Chelsea,
the week.
Arsenal,
They
West Ham.
also dominated match day 1.
Just Eric, just the bias is.
They got a new coach. They got new defenders.
This is why I always
They got a
describe.
striker who's scared of scoring.
I always describe Eric's takes as unbiased and unflinching because my man is just the most biased guy ever. Dude.
They beat a team he said that could go far in the tournament 3-1. They beat AC Milan 3-1 match day 1.
He just picked
Yeah.
AC Milan.
Yeah.
Put a little pizza money on it. See what happens.
You put a little pizza money on
I
it.
will.
Yeah.
I will.
All right, you guys got anything else for UCL before we get into the week 3?
Nah.
Bologna plus 1100.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Do it.
All right, Nevada, welcome back. Give us your biggest surprise, or give us 3 takeaways, or actually, since there's 4 of us, up to 3, but it doesn't have to be 3.
Up to 3, but wrap it up.
Yeah, but
we'll play you off stage if you're going over.
But keep it tight.
I will keep it quick and succinct. Every week, Will Levis will not cease to amaze with some sort of stupidity.
Dude, the Titans should be 3-0.
They
honestly should be 3-0.
The dude is 3-0.
If Will Levis would have taken 3 sacks, they would have been 3-0.
Yeah, that dude is 3-0 on boneheaded interceptions. I'll keep it at that. I'll share the other part before we dive into the preview.
Okay. I was like, nothing else?
That's all you
All
got, Nevada?
So,
No, it's not, but that's the one I wanted to get across.
So Aaron Rodgers is now the 9th QB in NFL history to throw for 250 yards and have 100+ passer rating at 40 years or older. There are 8 more guys. Can you name the 8 guys?
Kerry Collins.
Nope.
Tom Brady.
Yep. Number 1.
Joe Flacco.
Nope.
Brett Favre.
Yes, Brett Favre.
Peyton Manning.
Nope, not
Matt
Peyton Manning.
Ryan.
Nope, not Matt Ryan.
Brock
Philippe.
Osweiler.
Not Brock
Rivers?
Osweiler. Not Philippe.
Elway.
Come on, Jermaine.
Romo. Drew Brees.
Yes. Thank you, not Jermaine. No,
I-
not Romo.
I was just shocked that his name
Okay.
wasn't said immediately after Tom Brady.
Okay, so you guys have got the top 3. Tom Brady has done it 38 times. Drew Brees has done it 10 times. Brett Favre has done it 6 times.
Stop it.
Nope. I don't know the latest. So there's one quarterback from 1997.
Tim Couch?
No.
Mark Brunell.
There's one from 2004.
Schwab.
Greatest old Carolina Panthers quarterback of all time. There's one from 1968.
Delhomme.
Nope.
No, old. He said old. It's
Old.
the guy before Delhomme.
Did they
Testaverde.
exist before Delhomme?
Testaverde, Vinny
Oh.
Testaverde.
Vinny
has done it twice.
Testaverde.
Number 5.
Namath?
Nope, no Namath. All right, so I'll read them off now. No. So we got the top 3: Brady, Brees, Favre, Warren Moon at 4,
Oh, I probably could have got that one.
tied with Vinny Testaverde. George Blanda at 6.
Oh,
Yeah,
course.
we should have got that.
Vince Evans, don't know who that is. 1995 quarterback.
It's a
He did
made up
once.
character in
That's a
a
mad
video
name.
game.
The simulation. And number 8, Matt Hasselbeck in 2015.
Oh, that's a good one.
My takeaway from this week, Bryce Young should never start another game this year in a Carolina Panthers uniform. Andy Dalton has now two times in different years, consecutive years, revived the Carolina Panthers offense that I thought was dead. Last year, he threw for 330 yards in a loss. This year, this was the offense we thought it was. This is the Dave Canales offense.
This was the futures bet we made.
This was the offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw players. You saw Chubba Hubbard running. You saw Deontay Johnson catching balls. You saw Tommy Treble at tight end. Like, you saw every player playing to their best. You saw the Carolina Panthers defense motivated. You saw what a defense could do when it was motivated by its offense, when it wasn't continuously tired and 3 and out, and they didn't have to be on the field and getting driven on. Sure, they got driven on. They allowed a good number of points and some splash plays to the Raiders. But this is what you saw. This Carolina offense that we were promised. Let's see. What else?
Yeah, Andy Dalton just proved, like you said, Nick, that Bryce Young is not ready. It's the exact same offense, and Andy showed why he's been in the league for so long.
So I know I told you guys this in our group chat, but for the listeners out there, remember, Andy Dalton was an average quarterback when there were gods playing at quarterback. He among these posers, he's elite now.
Dude, it's a funny ass take because my man he gets gang banged on, but he always made the playoffs in an era where quarterback play was at peak all around the league.
So another tweet said, Andy Dalton grew up in the 2010s AFC North. He's laughing at this right now.
Yeah, this defense is cute. Thanks for that cover too, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, you touched me in the head penalty. Like, have you ever heard of Ray Lewis?
I used to get dropped on my goddamn head.
Think about the guys he had to play against. That's insane. Oh yeah, and one last thing about week 3, I don't like it, but the Joe Burrow is Dan Marino take might be the greatest take I've ever had.
We might have saved Eric's dynasty team by forcing him to trade Joe Burrow.
We're gonna look back and be like, "Wow, Eric, great trade." I mean, Justin Herbert really doesn't have an ankle left, but still,
he traded him too. Good riddance,
yeah,
bum.
Well, there you go. Hey, give me Jaden Reed, you bum.
All right, Eric, what are your takeaways?
My main takeaway is, especially with the Carolina Panthers, every team should try to model what the if you're going to throw your rookie quarterback into the starting lineup, if you're just going to force it upon him, then do what the Commanders have done. Like, make a simple offense for him. Let him gain some confidence in himself. Don't make it too complicated. Don't put everything on his shoulders. And then start slowly incrementing it. And then he'll go out there and beat who did they beat? Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yep. They'll go out there and beat Cincinnati on a great performance from him. He's looking like the rookie of the year to me right now. And it's
pretty bold take for a guy completing 80% of his passes there. Just kidding. I was busting your balls and giving you he's definitely the rookie of the year.
Caleb Williams is struggling. Bryce Young struggled. Yeah, CJ Stroud did his anomaly last year, but they look a little bit regressed. They lost Joe Mixon, which is a huge part of that offense. So, but just the positive note is they've done a wonderful job easing Jaden Daniels, and I think he will win Rookie of the Year at this point.
Well,
it's a good take.
Look at what DeMeco Ryans did with the Houston offense last year. DeMeco Ryans is not an offensive guy, right? Yeah. Make it as simple as possible, right? Stroud, if you can read and react to coverages, every single quarterback in the NFL can read and react to coverages, right? Make him read and react. Denver did the same thing this week and beat Tampa by 2 scores because they cut the playbook down and they just said, hey, Bo, do 2 read football, right? And if it's not there, scramble. 2 read football and scramble. Throw in some read options, throw in some play action. You confuse defenses, and I don't think it's that hard to run an offense in the NFL. I truly don't.
Not with the talent around you, with the coaching, not with everything that's given to you.
Send a man in motion. The quarterback can be like, "Oh, good, they're playing zone." Oh, good. They're playing man. Oh, good. Like it baffles my mind and surely can't be that easily. But from the surface, as somebody that's never coached a football game before, it certainly looks awful easy to implement basic strategies of offense.
Yeah, 1,000%. What I will say about CJ Stroud dominates bad defenses, bottom 16 defenses. Top 16 defenses get the best of CJ Stroud. This is why I kept saying, like, it's a foregone conclusion that he makes the jump. But without a run game, CJ Stroud struggles. Now, this leads me into I'm glad that we brought up Stroud in these conversations. But
you're welcome.
This leads me to my primary takeaway from the week. Brian fucking Flores is that dude, and Tua Tagovailoa needs to shut the fuck up. His defense, his scheme without talent is fucking phenomenal. Back-to-back weeks, he worked Brock Purdy and he worked CJ Stroud, and then he's coming in and he's potentially taking on Malik Willis or a coming off an MCL sprain Jordan Love. Brian Flores is a bad motherfucker and deserves to be a head coach. I can't wait to see wherever he goes. I stand by my take that the Saints should have fired Dennis Allen and hired Brian Flores, even though Dennis Allen has them boys playing down south right now. Secondly,
is there
stop.
Something it's coaching angry, by the way?
Probably is.
Because if so, Brian Flores is doing it.
yeah. Just he has one motion anger.
He's like stack the quarterback. What's the scene from the program where the linebacker's watching film and he's like, kill the quarterback, hit the running back so hard his girlfriend dies. That's just Brian Flores in film sessions.
Part of that, we owe the Vikings an apology. We picked them to finish last in the division. I think we all did. Sam Darnold, God bless you. My goodness. This is my take. Every top quarterback picked can play football. It just matters if you can coach them up to play the football. And that's why those bad teams stay bad. See the Carolina Panthers.
No. And you know what? Your take is wrong, Jermaine. Every bad quarterback has to go through the Carolina Panthers to then become good. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young will be great. Like, this is they realize, like, they're in their situation, and Sam Darnold's like, oh, the New York Jets are so terrible, the New York media. And then he got to Carolina and he was like, oh, you know what? It could have been worse when I was in New York. He's like, please, God, get me out of here. And then I'll do whatever it takes to be a good quarterback.
The other takeaway
Teddy
is
Bridgewater.
The other takeaway is Teddy Bridgewater was good in Minnesota. He just lost his leg.
Right. And then Carolina finally put the nail in his coffin.
The other takeaway is, look, everyone can be as sick and tired as they want of everyone talking about Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan's coaching tree. Those are the OCs that work right now. So Alex Van Pelt in New England is a retread. He got fired from Cleveland, went to New England, looks like he sucks dick again. Ken Dorsey, fired from Buffalo, went to Cleveland, looks like he sucks again. Luke Getsy, fired from Chicago, picked up by Las Vegas. Las Vegas just lost to the fucking Carolina fucking Panthers. Like, what's his name? My goodness, he's so fucking bad at offensive coordinating. The one for the Bears right now. He was the Seahawks OC last year. Anyone help me? No?
Oh, yep. I know who you're talking about.
He's
Shane
Waldron. Awful. These fucking retreads, and here's the thing. This is contrary to my point, kind of, because Shane Waldron came from the McVay system. Their offenses stink, and they cannot scheme and coach up to save a damn. They should stop being offered jobs as offensive coordinators. It's fucking bonkers. I'm sick of seeing these dudes suck it up. Luke Getsy sucked in Chicago with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is 3-0 with Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh, and Luke Getsy gets picked up for another gig in Las Vegas? What are we doing?
Yeah, I remember when Getsy was coming out, he was kind of I want to say the hot commodity, but he was one of the few getting mentioned in all this OC circles. Like, he's going to be the next guy, because he was coming from Green Bay. You got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we look at Hackett, right? He had one year in Jacksonville with Bortles that was good. Trash since. He moves with Rodgers to Green Bay. Rodgers revitalizes him. Comes to Denver. We know how that ends. Now he's in his second year with the Jets. It's still uninspiring offensive coordinating. But he's got the quarterback to make up for those blemishes.
Absolutely. And then my last takeaway is, has Cliff Kingsbury gotten better?
They're just running a really simple college offense right now.
Chill out, Cameron.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're wrong for it. I just said it's a good thing they're doing it, but
chill out, Taylor. Relax, Britt. Nah, dude, that guy was an idiot for saying
you got dogs all the years, so.
Terry McLaurin took that personally, dog.
Say what now?
Terry McLaurin dusted him twice for deep balls, like just disrespectful deep balls, like Cameron Taylor Blitz literally diving, trying to, like that's just a bad take. But look, dude, I don't know if I ever thought, I didn't have that on my bingo card that Cliff Kingsbury may have gotten better. I for sure didn't have that, and that's kind of with what Eric was saying. He took his lumps with Kyler Murray. He went to USC, or no, maybe he took a year off, and then now he's back, and he might actually be good. Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other takeaways or no? Sorry, go ahead, Nevada.
No, I'll just say off years with Kingsbury, I don't know if he got better. I think he realized his limitations in trying to bring a college offense to the pros. And now with his second stint with Jaden Daniels, he knows. I mean, I don't think anybody here would argue Jaden Daniels is as good, if not better, than Kyler Murray. They're still both really good, but he realized I can't run the USC offense in the pros. I got to dial it back, take these baby steps, and then we can get there, but we just can't implement it from day one. Yeah.
Well, TBD, I'm not going. That's why there was a question mark at the end of my statement, because I'm not going out on the limb and saying, KKB is good or not. But right now, I'm like, it's on the noggin.
So
what else, Eric?
I don't really have a take on this. I'm just curious as to what your guys' take on this. Is it a bigger reflection of Stafford and McVay, or is it a bigger reflection of Purdy and what's his name? Shanahan? That the Rams won that game, because going up to it, the Niners are all hurt. It's like the Rams have their entire 53-man roster on the IR.
So do the 49ers. Let's not forget Nick Bosa was out.
Yeah, no, they did. But
Tebow, Kittle.
Was this just Sam?
No, I need you guys to remember. I need you guys to remember every time the Rams play the 49ers, I hit you with the stat about how McVay whoops Kyle Shanahan's ass. Every single time. That's why this week I was like, Rams plus 7.5. Give me that. I'm late a touchdown. Give me that. I was all over that. McVay just kicks his ass. I think that's just what it is, man. I don't know how else to explain it. Some coaches have some coaches' numbers, right? It just is what it is. And I think that's the case. I think McVay just knows exactly how to beat Kyle Shanahan.
Makes sense.
I think division rivals, they've played each other over 12 times now, including playoffs. You know what I mean? I think the first time Shanahan beat him was in the playoffs.
To go to the Super Bowl, wasn't it? The year they went to the Super Bowl, I should say.
Yeah, I think they made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know if it was the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I think it was to get to the year they made it to the Super Bowl. I think they played him in the first round or something.
Yeah, they beat him in the playoffs though, like divisional round or wild card or something like that. That was like the first time he beat him. So it's like it's just a coaching matchup, and Shanahan gets sunk in that regard, just like Andy Reid has Shanahan. No, not Andy Reid specifically. Spags has Shanahan's number as well. Steve Spagnuolo for the Chiefs. So it's just scheme. Well, yeah, it's easy to have everyone's number when the flags go in your favor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't know if it's a knock, because they lost by 3. And Jawan Jennings, God bless fantasy players who started Jawan Jennings this week. Holy shit.
41 motherfucking points.
I think in like standard scoring, he was like 47.10 or something. I think standard is now PPR though, so he got 47.10.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win
like
the points payout because I started that guy.
Yeah, I real quick to dip into the fantasy pool. I had 2 Panthers players that were originally on the bench, so I started Chuba because I needed a running back, and I figured, all right, he should be at least good for 10 points, whatever. He went off for like 30 points. So I was like, hell yeah. So I was like, I'll start one. The other one was Deontay Johnson.
Also went
I
off.
was like, I'll start one Panther offensive player. I ain't starting 2 against a good Raiders defense.
That's what I
both went off.
So last week I was forced. I had a bunch of injuries: Debo, Njoku, Ingram, someone else.
Mhm.
I was forced to start Malik Neighbors and Wandale Robinson. That was week 2. Going into week 3, I was like, you can't roll that dice again, dog. Like, you just can't do it. If I would have done it, I would have double-digit points again. I was just like, am I starting 2 Giants wide receivers?
Real quick, you kind of brought something up, triggered something. Takeaway. I don't know if you guys saw it. You probably did on the socials. This Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones comparison.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this?
They calling him the blonde Daniel Jones.
Right. So I'll read through Daniel Jones, who I think we consider he gets a lot of flack, and I think rightfully so. But these are his numbers: 64% completion, career stats, 2,500 pass yards a season, 330 rush yards a season, 85 career passer rating, a 51.67 QBR, 66 tutties, 42 picks. Trevor Lawrence, 63% completion, 2,900 yards a season, 254 rush yards a season, 84 career passing rating, 50.25 QBR, 60 tutties, 40 interceptions. Identical, if not, Daniel Jones has slightly better in most categories.
This is why I said I don't think Daniel Jones is that bad. He's a pretty accurate quarterback. And he's never had anyone to throw to. And right now, Malik Neighbors has like 37 targets on the season. We've played 3 games. That's 12.33 repeating targets per game right now.
I think my issue with Daniel Jones is he has shown he cannot do what he showed last week consistently.
And as a quarterback, very few quarterbacks can, though, right?
Well, I know, but if you're going to be a franchise QB or the QB of the future for your team, you got to have some sort of consistency so they know what they're getting at. But Trevor Lawrence gets a lot of pass, being 1 overall and being this generational talent franchise. I don't know. He might get what's his face fired in Jacksonville, Doug Peterson.
They're already talking about Belichick replacing him.
Yeah.
Of course he'd retire in Florida.
So this is what I said. I was just like, how come all these other quarterbacks get beat up, but Trevor Lawrence gets a pass every single time? They're finally coming for Trevor Lawrence after he got paid. Why weren't they crucifying him before he got 275 million or something like that? The dude's not good. All right, look, I can't sit here and say I thought Daniel Jones was a pretty good quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not as good as we thought he was going to be.
Right.
And he's never going to. I think he's never going to be. Never going to get it, never going to get it.
Yeah.
Never going to get it, never going to get it. Hey, hey, hey. All right, I'm done. Let's get into NFL Week 4. On the season thus far, I'm 43-33. Nick's Nuggies are 13-7. Because Nick has been conspicuous absent to pick all his losers. And Nevada's 23-31.
Oh, yeah.
Those are our NFL records thus far. We'll go through each game. You guys can I'll read the lines, and then you guys can give your bets to Eric. Make sure you say them clearly. Tomorrow on Thursday night, we have Dallas going into New York. Dallas is -6 on the spread. The over-under is 45, and the Giants are +210 on the line. Any action?
I wish we could hear Nick's, but he's
Every single one of you bodied them. You're still muted, brother. You might be good now.
Okay, microphones work. Enhance. Dallas going into the New York Giants, a division game. The Giants have lost. No, actually, I think I put that from the wrong perspective. Okay, the Cowboys have won 4 of the last 5, including the last 3 when traveling into New York. Eric, give me the Dallas team total over 19. What's the Dallas team total right now? Can we pull up that bet pretty easily?
Yeah, let me just get it up here. Where's the alternate spreads?
And in games, in those four of the last 5 games, when Dallas wins, the margin is greater than 7. So give me Dallas -6, Eric, and then when we find out the team total,
what number do you want for your team total? You said 19.
Yeah, what is
so even money is over 26.5 right now.
Oof. Let me look at one thing. Well, I'll let's move on, and I'll come back.
Over 25.5 is -115.
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta look at something real quick. I'm not gonna lock that in yet.
Got it.
I get scared on these Thursday games, especially if it's divisional. I think the Cowboys got embarrassed enough when Baltimore finally decided to commit to a running game, and especially in the fourth quarter. That being said, I'm going to go over on the points, and I'll leave it at that for now, though.
I'm taking Giants to cover +6.
Ooh.
It's fair.
Let's go.
All right, very next bet we have is the first game of Sunday Night Football. Denver traveling to the New York Jets. Jets are -7.5 on the spread. The over/under is 39.5, and the Broncos are +285 on the line.
So a little stats for you here, but I don't think it's going to lead to any bet. The Jets, having played on Thursday Night Football, are at a rest advantage since 2019. The Jets on a rest advantage, 5-13 straight up, 6-11-1 against the spread.
How does that fare under Saleh? Do you have that?
Under Saleh, when did Saleh start?
Saleh started in 2021.
2021.
I believe.
Since 2021, under Robert Saleh, the Jets are, with a rest advantage, the New York Jets are
Oh,
3-7. Straight up.
Give me Broncos +7.5.
And against the spread, they might cover the spread. We'll see. They are 2-7-1 against the spread.
Yeah. Give me Broncos +7.5. After Bo Nix and Sean Payton got crucified for the play calling fiasco, it looked like they ran a much more stripped down offensive play calling system, and Bo Nix looked a lot more comfortable last week. Granted, who did the Broncos play last week, Nevada?
Tampa Bay.
That's a good football team. Yeah, give me Broncos +7.5. Anyone else have any other action in these games?
I also am taking Broncos +7.5. I'm going to go. I'll go over 39.5. One of the classic Nick Nuggies about West Coast teams playing on the East Coast in the early morning does not apply because the Broncos stayed out east and are in the area for the entire week.
Yeah, get wrecked, Knicks Nuggets.
Yeah, suck on those Nuggies.
Eric, I will also take Denver +7.5.
Oh my!
Okay, well they're getting blown out.
Suck it,
damn
dorks.
it! Jets by 10. Very next matchup for this week, we have this is probably game of the week for me. Actually, that's a bold call because there's also Philly and Tampa Bay playoff rematch. But Minnesota versus Green Bay is going to be electric. Minnesota Vikings travel into Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers are -2.5 on the line. The over/under is 43.5, and Minnesota is +120 money line. This is too close to call give me Vikings money line. I think Jordan Love plays this game. I'll take the over 43.5, despite what I said about Brian Flores. Both these teams are excellently coached, and I think it's going to be a fun divisional matchup. I'll take the line because it's too close to pick. Give me the dog.
No action for me in this. It is a divisional game, though. Minnesota traveling into Green Bay. They have the series has gone Minnesota, Green Bay, Minnesota, Green Bay, going back the last 5 years. But no action for me on this.
I'm with Jermaine on this one, and I think you said it earlier. Brian Flores is showing what a mastermind he is on defense. And like you said, it's either Malik Willis or it's going to be a 75-80% Jordan Love, who's probably going to at least be hobbled for his mobile ability. So I think either way, he's going to start throwing blitzes and exotic blitzes just to get either quarterback off their rhythm.
Fantastic. Let's get Pittsburgh travels into Indianapolis. Pittsburgh is -1.5 on the line. The over-under is 40, and Indianapolis is Pittsburgh is -1.5 on the spread. Indianapolis is +105 on the line. So I'll go first here. Anthony Richardson, 2+ turnovers. This Pittsburgh defense is going to eat. If you're playing fantasy, start the Pittsburgh defense. I'll go Pittsburgh -1.5.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh needs to score 17 to 21 points per game, and they win football games. And I think this will be the best defense that Anthony Richardson has seen in his career so far. But give me the Pittsburgh money line because I'm not that confident. So Pittsburgh money line -125.
Yeah, 2 points is a lot. Can they win by 2?
Who knows?
Anthony Richardson is showing, if nothing else, he can consistently turn over the football. And this defense is not one that you want to be going up against if you're turnover prone. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh defense anytime touchdown scores at +380.
So to Nevada's point, over the last 19 games, the Pittsburgh offense is averaging 19 points per game. That's 26 in the NFL over that span. In the last 20 games, they have forced their turnover margin is +15, number one in the NFL, and their defense has allowed 16 and 16.3 points, both best in the NFL.
Yeah, the bet you want this week is turnovers over 2.5 -135.
You want me to add that?
Yeah, you can give me that one.
Pittsburgh. No.
For the whole game, over 2.5 turnovers. -135. Or if you're, I don't know if you're doing odds, but in case you were. It's starting to get real annoying that we're all agreeing. So can you guys change your minds or let me go last so that way I can pick the opposite? Very next game, we have Philadelphia traveling into Tampa Bay. Philadelphia is -2 on the spread. The over-under is 44. And Tampa Bay is +110 on the line. Thoughts?
Give me Tampa Bay +2. So Tampa, we take teams scoring. We take teams on the spread scoring less than 10 points the previous week. Dogs of less than 10 points on the year are 5-3. Give me Tampa Bay +2.
I'm going. Yeah, I will go Tampa +2 as well, and over 44 on the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take Philadelphia -2 and under 44.
There we go.
No, I like what I saw from Vic Fangio's defense. It seems like they're figuring it out. Tampa Bay, if they can't find a successful rushing game, it seems like they struggle. Rashad White's dealing with that groin injury, but Bucky Irving looks pretty good. Although Bucky Irving's numbers are conflated. If you take away his 2 rushes of 30+ yards or more from week 1 and week 3, Tampa Bay is actually averaging like 2.9 yards per carry on the season without those 2 runs. It's pretty fucking disgusting. So if they can't get that run game going, Baker Mayfield's going to have a tough time trying to get this done. I'll go with Saquon Barkley, 2+ touchdowns, over 100 total yards. because I don't think AJ Brown or Devonta Smith play in this game with the bye week coming the week after. They're probably play it safe and just keep it pushing.
So, real quick, just for you guys that for that Philly -2, remember we have our best offensive linemen's out, Lane Johnson, and then there's another offensive lineman out, and our entire starting wide receivers are out. So it's going to be interesting game.
Not worried. Philly -2. Cincinnati traveling into Carolina. Cincinnati's -4 on the spread. The over-under is 47. Bonkers over-under. Just thinking Carolina couldn't score before that. That's crazy. Carolina's +160 on the line. Before anyone gets in here, I'm taking Carolina money line +160. Prove me wrong, Dan.
Andy Dalton revenge game. Something to burst Jermaine's bubble. Since Cincinnati played on Monday night, they'll be playing with a rest disadvantage. And since 2019, Cincinnati is 9-7 straight up, 12-3-1 against the spread when playing with this rest disadvantage. Carolina when playing with the rest advantage, which is normally a good thing, 4-11 straight up, 5-10 against the spread. Eric, give me Cincinnati -4.
Revenge game. Red Rocket goes into Cincinnati, drops him to 0-4, and finally, Zach Taylor is on the hot seat, as we've been predicting for years on end.
Yeah, I'm with Jermaine on this one.
Huh.
Yeah, well, you jumped in early. I was going to take Panthers money line, but I was also going to take Jamar Chase 2+ tutties and a Chuba Hubbard anytime touchdown +950.
Look, dude, I just revenge game. I love this Andy Dalton narrative. If Andy Dalton keeps the starting job rest of the year, comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams travel into Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears are -3 on the spread. That is crazy. The over-under is 41, and the Rams are +130 money line. You already know where I'm going, Eric. Give me that +3. Maybe even buy a hook if you want, and then take the line.
Yeah, I got nothing in this game. I hope both teams have fun.
I'll
Play
go,
ball, boys.
I'll go over on the points. 41 seems pretty low for these teams. I was going to ride with what Jermaine had, but I'm not going to step on his toes.
Dude, go ahead. Pick them.
There's
only two options.
But I think McVay, as we saw with San Francisco and stuff, it doesn't matter who's available or who's not available. That offense is going to produce something. And I don't think McVay and Stafford want some rookie QB to walk over him. So I'll go with the over on the points on this game.
Faux show. Nick abstained. We'll go ahead and push to the next one. Jacksonville Jaguars travel into Houston Texans. Houston Texans are -6.5 on the spread. The over-under is 45.5. Money line is +225. Nevada?
I'm going over on the points on this one. Houston coming home. Don't have to face a Brian Flores defense now. I think they get back on track. Joe Mixon looks like he is, I think last I saw, questionable, but it looks like he's scheduled to play. That'll help out C.J. Stroud. The Jags play uninspiring defense and offense up to this point. So over on the points, I'm not thrilled about taking the points with Houston, though, just because it is a divisional game.
Speaking of divisional games, Jacksonville has won the last two after losing the other three in the last five. However, 4 of the last 5 of these games have been under that point total of 45.5. So give me the under 45.5, Eric.
Sweet.
Is Jacksonville 0-3?
Yeah.
Man, they about to go 0-4. This team is bad, dude. I might take a parlay of Jacksonville and Cincinnati losing. Fucking bums. Let's go ahead and get it. Oh, did I pick anything on this?
Losers lose parlay.
Losers lose parlay. let me get Jacksonville +6 in the hook. Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson are fighting for their lives. they'll channel their inner R. Kelly and at least cover. Very next game, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling into the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are -2.5 on the spread. The over-under is 42, and the money line is +110. I'll go ahead and take this one. Obviously, it's fucking big rivalry game. Fuck the Falcons. Unfortunately, both teams took major injuries on the offensive line. The New Orleans Saints offense has come down to earth after Taysom Hill got hurt. Our starting center, arguably one of the best in the league, has groin surgeries out 6 to 8 weeks. I think Atlanta has more talent, and so I'm going to go. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with nothing. Fuck this game.
Divisional game, New Orleans traveling into Atlanta. They've won 4 of the last 5 with their only loss coming last year in those 5s. I think they'll return to glory. The model still hasn't shook out how good Kirk Cousins is in this offense. But, I mean, this should be a pickup game in my opinion. But since it's not, give me Saints +2.5, and I'll take Saints money line +110.
Yeah, Atlanta's just getting the home field points.
They're
not even getting the full 3. Sorry, go ahead, Nevada.
Very good. For whatever reason, I can't remember if I said this at the beginning of the show or offline, but it just has a feeling of like a 16-13 game.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the under on the points for this.
It's gonna be real ugly.
Yeah, this might come down to a kicking battle with a touchdown sprinkled in, but that's probably about it.
Young Ho versus Groupie Fish.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Grouper.
All right, we're into the next game. Oh, we got a 10.5 point spread, Nick. The Patriots traveling into San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The 49ers are -10.5 on the spread. The over-under is 40.5, and the line is +410.
Yeah, so New England also scored less than 10 points last week. So that would make you say, hey, New England +10. We fade favorites with the against the spread over 9.5, and we take that under, but not this week because San Francisco 49ers, since 2019, playing with a rest disadvantage, are 14-5 straight up and 12-6-1 against the spread. And also, our metric has not been doing very well. So give me the Niners -10 and over 40.5.
It's 10 and a hook. Does that hook change it?
Nope.
All right. Do you, by any chance, I don't know if you do or not, but do you have San Francisco's performances after coming off a loss?
I can find it in a sec. Since when?
5 years.
Okay. Since 2019, because we'll take out 2020.
Sure. Since 2019.
Since 2019, coming off a loss, what would you like? Win, loss, or against the spread?
Both.
Okay, straight up coming off the spread, they are 17-12 since 2019. That's 58%. And against the spread since 2019, after a loss, the San Francisco 49ers are 14-14 and 1. 14-14-1.
Fascinating.
So they don't lose.
Give me 10 and a hook. Give me New England 10 and a hook. Fuck it.
10 and a hook. That changed. That might that's a little spooky right there.
Nevada.
I'm scared of this game. I feel like the Patriots are damn near playing with house money. They got nothing to lose. San Fran obviously still got some injuries. Remains to be seen who's going to be coming back.
Don't matter. Jawan Jennings put the team on his back.
Yeah. New England showed that they could play with Seattle. I'm going to stay away from this one, especially the spread. That one's too scary for me.
Craig, is that you?
You know what, Eric? That stat scared me back straight. I'm flipping to the Knicks Nuggies. I'm going New England +10.5.
Are you keeping the over still?
Yes, I'm still keeping the over.
Okay.
Yeah, you need that to cover that.
Yeah.
You need New England to score some points, baby. I have a gut feeling Drake May gets into this game, and that's what covers the spread. So that's the reason why when I saw 10 and a hook, I was like, let me just take that. Very next game, we have Washington Commanders traveling into Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals are minus 3.5 on the spread. The over-under is 50 points. And the Commanders are plus 145 on the line. Both these defenses are awful, and Arizona just lost a defensive tackle for the year. This is a Cliff Kingsbury revenge game. Give me the Commanders plus 3.5. I think the Cardinals win, though, and I'll take the over 50.
Yeah, I don't want any part of this game.
Yeah, this one could be wild. I'll do a anytime touchdown parlay with this one. I'm going to go with the rookie receiver with Marvin Harrison, and then Brian Robinson Jr. for the Manders at plus 242 altogether.
All right. Abstaining from the lines, though, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Kansas City travels into Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Chargers just had Derwin James suspended. That's real convenient. Shout out. Good for you, Kansas City. Kansas City's minus 7.5 on the spread. The over-under is 40 points, and the line is plus 285. Look, man, everything tells you that Kansas City should cover this fucking spread. Justin Herbert's hurt. I mean, it's crazy, but
not so fast, my friend.
All right, go ahead. Take it away.
Kansas City, this is a division game. Kansas City has never lost when playing the Chargers in LA. They have never lost in LA since the Chargers moved there. However, every single one of those games has had a spread less than 7.5 points, or a Chiefs winning margin of less than 7.5 points. Also, the Chargers scored 10 points last week. That activates another Knicks Nuggie. Give me Chargers plus 7.5.
Even without Herbert.
Even without Herbert.
Easton Stick to the rescue. Is Easton Stick the backup? Does anyone know who the backup is?
I believe he is, yes.
I'm pretty sure he played last week, so we shouldn't.
They were expecting Herbie to come back this week, though.
They're going to keep.
Granted, that's Wednesday, but that's what they were looking at.
Taylor Heineke is the backup.
Oh, the backup savant, bro. That changes everything.
Oh, shit. What's plus 285?
Give me
the money.
Give me Chargers in the hook, and if you're feeling froggy, jump on the line. Oh, that's amazing. Taylor Heineke. Didn't Taylor Heineke used to back up Mahomes?
I don't think so. I think he was in Carolina, then he was in Washington. I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's backed up for every team, sir.
Probably, yeah.
Taylor Heineke's the backup quarterback right now for the Seahawks. Change my mind.
Holy cow. He is. Football Reference just updated.
Oh, he did not play for them.
No.
Houston, Carolina, Washington, Atlanta. He's the backup everywhere. It's just like, if you ask me who the backup is right now in Buffalo, it's Taylor Heineke, dude.
Or Chase Daniels.
He's retired, dude. That used to be the guy who did back up literally everybody.
Josh McCown.
Shout out Saints legend for both those guys.
Yeah.
Actually, we have both those guys. Very next, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Raiders are -2 on the spread. The over-under is 37, and Cleveland is plus 105 on the line. Nick?
I don't want any part. No, thank you. Abstain.
I'm going to take the Raiders on the spread at -2. We haven't heard anything, but this is going to be Gardner Minshew's last chance as a starting quarterback for Vegas. I think Antonio Pierce didn't directly say that, but he made comments about he's going to make some business decisions. I think Vegas still has a very good defense. They're playing at home. I fully anticipate that they'll come out pissed off and angry. Max Crosby wasn't himself last week. He was injured, but he'll still play. He's a maniac. So I'm taking Vegas on the spread. And I think the points were, at 37, if I remember correctly?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's
I
correct.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. These are both good defenses and some lackluster offenses, so I'm going to stay away from that.
Oh, I was gonna have the opposite take. Actually, looking at that line, 37 seems far too low for me.
Oh, I'm taking the under. I was already taking the under. I was waiting to hop in to say that. So you just happened to jump in before I could say it. But I'm taking the under 37. This is the Ken Dorsey versus the Luke Getsy Bowl. Both offensive coordinators suck. We've already threatened our starting quarterback in Las Vegas with a fucking benching, even though he was leading the league in completion percentage. That's wild. One game is just all of a sudden made his leash that short. The Cleveland Browns tackles have stolen the playbook from the Carolina Panthers, and Deshaun Watson is running for his fucking life. Nevada's MVP pick to record double-digit sacks this week is an awesome prop if anyone's interested. Give me the under 37. I want no fucking action. I have no clue who wins this game. We'll move into the next one. This next one is shocking. The 3-0 Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football travel into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens open -2.5 on the spread. I don't know about open, but -2.5 on the spread. The over-under is 46.5, and the money line is +110. Both teams are going to have to score 20 to even win this game. Give me over 46.5. And the fact that I'm getting Buffalo at plus money, give me +110 on the line, and you could probably buy a point and get it at -135 or something. But just Buffalo across the board, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore really has, since 2019, Baltimore, when playing with a rest advantage, is very good at winning. They're 11-6 straight up. However, they're 6-11 against the spread when playing with a rest disadvantage, or when playing with a rest advantage. Buffalo, coming in at a rest disadvantage, they are actually also 11-6 straight up, but they are 9-8 against the spread. Give me Buffalo +2.5, and give me Buffalo money line +110.
Well, I guess I can see where this is going. It's a fantastic Sunday night game.
You watch it suck.
Yeah. 12-9. I think this game is going to be a ground and pound game. Both teams have shown that can be their bread and butter. Granted, Josh Allen threw for 4 or 5?
4 in the first half. Yeah,
4.
In the first half.
Okay. I think Baltimore continues to roll with what worked well for him in Dallas, sticking to the run game, getting King Henry going. I think Josh Allen's probably going to do Josh Allen stuff and have to carry his team, but I got over on the points, and then I'll go with a anytime touchdown parlay of King Henry and Josh Allen at +310.
God damn, that seems good. It's really good odds. Dude, Baltimore looks bad this year, man. But just the thing is like, does Baltimore really fall to 1-3? That's what I'm betting on. Let's go ahead and move into a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Nevada, I'll let you take the first one. Tennessee Titans travel into Miami. Miami is -1 on the spread. The over-under is 36.5. And the Titans are -102 on the line. Holy fuck, that's a Monday Night Football game.
First of all, I just want to say, NFL, quit doing the 2 Monday night games.
Agreed.
Stop it.
Agreed.
Just stop it. Pick one.
Or stagger them so that they're not on at the same time.
Right. Do an East Coast game that starts at 5:30 East Coast time or whatever, and then I don't know, West Coast one that starts at 5:30 West Coast time. Something.
Same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, this bullshit where they're like half an hour later this game starts. Whatever. I'm not going to be watching this game. It looks like it's probably going to be trash. I might be looking at some Tyreek bets, maybe. I don't know. Miami ain't got a quarterback at this point. Surprised they haven't traded for some QB, Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson, somebody.
Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback either, though.
I know. It's the first Monday night game in history where there's no quarterbacks on either side.
Yeah,
And
Wildcat versus Wildcat.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm staying away from the spread. I'm staying away from that point total. I think both teams probably end high.
What's that? What's that?
Can you bet the tie?
Stand
You
by.
can.
While you look that up, Nick, do you want any action on this?
Yeah. So in each of the last 5 meetings between these teams, Miami has increased their points year over year. They scored 27 last year. So if Tua is still playing, I'd say I want the Miami total over 27 points. That's not going to happen. However, 4 of the last 5 have gone over 36.5, this point total of 36.5. Eric, give me over 36.5. And also Miami, with the team scoring less than 10 points last week. I want the Miami money line minus 118.
The tie is plus 5,500.
Oh, yeah, Nevada. That's juicy.
That's a fun bet to root for. That would make me watch that football game. That's probably the only way you're going to get me to watch that football game.
Yeah.
Look, man, if Will Levis can't win this game, then he's doomed. Give me Tennessee money line reluctantly.
That was a question, wasn't it?
yeah, it was Rob
Give me the money line.
Nick, you get this one. Seattle travels into the Detroit Lions. Lions are minus 3.5 on the spread. Over under 46.5, and Seattle's money line is plus 150.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are setting me up here for a game that I don't have anything to do. So I don't have anything in this game.
Well,
I hope both teams really have fun.
I will say, just looking from the outside, and I could be wrong on this. I feel like Detroit plays much better in prime time when the lights are on, and they're the team, the game that's everyone's got their eyeballs on. They seem to go off. They show up in the big moments. That being said, we've seen what Mike McDonald can do with that nasty defense and defensive scheme he's got. But I'll still take Detroit minus 3.5. I'll agree with Kane, and I'll go over 46.5. Just again, they seem to rise up for those primetime games.
This is a battle of two really good football teams, man. Seattle's 3-0. They got wide receivers all over the field. They got running backs all over the field. That defense, like I keep saying it week after week, but I keep saying that Seattle's defense is going to finish as one of the best when the year is over. It's call it a gut feeling, but thus far I look fucking brilliant with it. Seattle seems to play Detroit really well as well. Seattle beat them last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if anyone could look that up real quick. So I'm taking Seattle plus 3.5 and Seattle plus 150.
Seattle money line.
Yeah, sorry, Seattle money line plus 150.
Pulling up last year's schedule. Give me 1 second.
All right, no worries. You guys got anything else? Any touchdown scores? Any parlays? Any turnovers? Any props? Any 100 yards and a tutty? I'm just gonna bet Terry McLaurin 100 yards on a tutty. Since
Back when Terry was scary,
he did it on Monday. We use that hashtag. He did it on fucking Monday. We knew,
but we can only use it once per season. We can't use it. It's a fleeting thing. It's our secret. It's our superpower, Jermaine.
No, I'm betting it this week, Nick. You
no,
coward.
While Eric looks that up, I wanted to do this real quick for you guys. So I'm gonna assign each of you a team, and I want you to give me like a 30-second explanation of why your team is a real threat or can go deep in the playoffs. So we'll start with Eric. Your team is going to be the Vikings.
Honestly, I think this one's pretty simple. It's the defense wins in this league. They've got a guru coaching them. Their division is it's actually pretty solid with the Lions. The Bears are underperforming. Everybody else is fine, but that defense can carry them. Their head coach, their offensive coach, what's his name? Kevin O'Connell. We always get these mixed up.
Nick O'Connell, dude.
Kevin O'Connell. Look, dude, I think this might not be a statistical thing that you can measure, but they always do okay. When they went to the NFC Championship, they did. Who they have as their quarterback?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum. So this is just how that team's built. They don't really need a superstar at quarterback. Just rely on that defense, and they have weapons all over the field.
I think what you're looking for is career backup.
They can make a deep run. I actually believe they might. They're gonna make the playoffs. I don't know, but I don't know if they'll have a deep run. But they look like a scary team to play.
Nick, you have the Steelers.
Oh, hell yeah, man. To Eric's point, but on steroids, right? When you defense wins championships, the Steelers are 3-0. They have allowed 26 points. 26 points they've allowed while scoring 51. In the National Football League, that wins you games. Alex Hightower coming back is almost as good of is probably one of the more elite pass rushers in our game that we don't talk about because TJ Watt is on the other side of the ball. Their defense struggled last year because they didn't have that 1-2 punch. Their secondary is good enough. Justin Fields is good enough. And you know what they're doing that they didn't do last year is they're being efficient. Yeah, they're not taking these giant shot plays on offense, but they're being efficient. I believe Justin Fields' completion percentage this year is 73% this year. 73%, 518 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's not lighting the world on fire, but he's being efficient when they need to. They were down 10-7 at the half against the Chargers last week, scored 13 unanswered points. They have one of the best kickers in the NFL right now by volume in Chris Boswell, and he's not a bad kicker. And an elite defense with an efficient offense means you're going to go far in this league.
He could have just said Mike Tomlin.
Also, like you said, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense struggled last year.
Well, they weren't this good.
Yeah, but they did not struggle.
Patrick Queen and somebody else.
Yeah, they added
Patrick McQueen.
They added Patrick Queen at middle linebacker. Yeah. So
Lightning McQueen and Peyton Wilson, who only cares about ball.
Yeah, because he's Nick's defensive rookie of the year pick. Seattle won 37-31 last year against the Lions, for those wondering.
And perfect segue. Jermaine, your team is Seattle.
Ooh, Seattle. Seattle's proving that offensive coordinators from college can come into the league and be successful by using motion, by using play action, by using bootlegs. Geno Smith last year was one of the more effective quarterbacks in the NFL without the counting stats. So everyone thought Seattle needed a quarterback. That is incorrect. DK Metcalf can be a wide receiver 1 in this league. We've seen it happen before. We saw it last week with the 71 touchdown catch. They can beat you multiple different ways with the dual-headed monsters of Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, or they can dink and dunk with Jackson Smith and Jigba, Captain Move the Sticks, or deep shot Tyler Lockett, who makes the rainbow play always look beautiful. Not to mention Mike McDonald championed a Baltimore Ravens defense for the last few years that we all were afraid to bet against. They gave him Roquan Smith, and he turned that defense into a juggernaut. Now they gave him Byron Murphy II, rookie, middle of the line. We found out that pushing the guards and centers back into the quarterback is one of the most effective ways to disrupt passers. See one Tom Brady. And they finally found an edge rusher coming off the edge. I always forget his name. If someone could look up the edge rusher for Seattle for me, that'd be great. But they finally found an impact edge rusher, and he's playing lights out in this Mike McDonald scheme. They're well coached on both sides of the football. They have veteran presence, and they have young elite weapons on offense. The Seattle Seahawks will win this division.
Ooh.
You talking Jerron Reed or Leonard Williams?
Those are the edge rushers? I don't think it's either one of those. I'll have to get back to you guys.
Okay. And then real quick, speed round on the opposite side. Why this team maybe not win the division or get into the playoffs, but what could be a threat? Nick, Tennessee.
We said it earlier. I'm going to say one sentence. This team would be 3-0 if not for 3 boneheaded plays in consecutive weeks by Will Levis. They have the talent. They're getting in a position to win games, which is all you can expect from a team in the NFL. Will Levis just has to learn at some point to stop. Just take sacks. 3 Will Levis sacks, and this team is 3-0.
Okay. Jermaine, the Bengals.
It's Boye Mafe for Seattle. The Bengals will not make it because their offensive line refuses to ever fix itself. They came into the season with bad juju. Look, T. Higgins wants to get paid, hasn't been paid. Jamar Chase wants to get paid, hasn't been paid. He has proven to be a bigger locker room cancer than Stephon Diggs, which is something that I said in the future series. And we saw it when he had a game-losing penalty versus the Kansas City Chiefs when he got up and yelled at a referee. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Zach Taylor has lost control of this locker room. Trey Hendrickson doesn't want to be there, their best defensive player. And they just let the Washington Commanders score 38 points on them in a must-win ball game this early in the season. This team is doomed. Doom. And they play in arguably the toughest division. They haven't even lost their 3 division games yet. That already puts them 6 losses down on the season. How can they possibly get into the playoffs at this rate? No chance. I'm out on the Bengals. Hard fade. Fuck Joe Burrow.
And Eric, you get to defend your former head coach, Dougie P, with the Jags.
Man, so I've only seen 2 of their games. It's just been uninspiring. It's crazy because they have talent. They got Etienne and they got Bigsby. They got the receivers, but I don't know. It just feels underperforming. No faith in Trevor Lawrence. I think he was hyped up by the media coming out, and he's just never lived up to it. And, yeah, that's it. I mean, they still have one of the best defensive players in football. Is he out or something? Because it doesn't make sense how bad that defense is.
Yeah. It's a good point, dude. It's a good point. You guys got anything else? We've ran rather long.
Nothing for me. I looked at it and I was like, holy cow, we've been talking for 2 hours.
Doesn't feel like it though.
No.
Anyways, this is what happens when you get the boys together. Boys will be boys. As Eric always says, women hate when men are having fun. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and X. Follow us on Instagram, X, and YouTube at Podcast Room 303. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things social and everywhere you get your podcasts. For myself, Jermaine Colon-Mendez, for my co-host Nicholas Moorhan, for my executive producers, DP and Nutty Putty. We'll see you next week when you come on down and step into the room.